Hey everyone, it's Brittany here with this week's episode of Let's Talk Tikvah. If this is your first time watching, I say welcome. Tikvah is the Aramaic word for hope. I do these videos and my blogs and everything else with the express purpose of breathing a little bit of hope into a world that's hurting and broken. And so if you find yourself feeling maybe a little lost or broken or whatever, I hope that this gives you a little bit of hope in your own journey. Yes, so if this is not your first time watching, I say welcome back. Thank you for coming back. I am pre-recording this, as I'm sure you can tell, but I always try to keep the integrity of my videos, so I will not edit anything except the very beginning and the very end of this video, because I feel like the message that I share here is good for someone, that somebody needs to hear what I have to say, and so I'm not going to edit out my rambling, which I'm very good at. Anyway, if you find some hope in this video, or you know someone else who might find hope in the words, please feel free to share. You can also comment and react and send me messages if you need to. I am here for you. I do these videos to help people, and so if it has helped you, I'd like to know. And if, like I said, if you think somebody else could benefit from it, feel free to share it. You don't need to tell me. You don't need to share it to their wall or anything like that. You can send it through a private message, whatever. Like I said, you don't need to let me know that, but please feel free to do so. I'm not going to be upset if you share it with someone who might need some hope. So anyway, today, we are talking about our journey. If you read my blog post, then you'll know that this week I was talking about enjoying the journey. I think that a lot of times we tend to set our eyes on a goal, and then we aim towards it to the exclusion of all else. I know I have a habit of doing that. When I started working for the church a couple of years ago, it was like I was surviving each week, aiming towards Sunday. At first, for those first couple months, I honestly couldn't tell you what happened during the week. I was working really hard, but I wasn't living. I was focusing on each Sunday, and that is it, and it was kind of a nightmare. After a couple of months, I was completely burned out, and I didn't know who I was anymore. And so I took a step back and I realized I needed to enjoy every single day. And so that's what I started doing. I started focusing on each day instead of one day a week, and that helped a lot. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm completely fixed from doing that, because I'm not. I still find myself doing that. Right now, I'm in grad school, and I have classes 2 days a week, and everything I do is geared towards those 2 days a week. And it's great that I'm getting my work done, but I was doing nothing outside of that. And so I would have class on Tuesday and Thursday, and then I would stay trapped in my apartment for the entire weekend until class rolled around again on Tuesday. And I'm starting to realize that that's not working. And so I need to remember that the journey is where life happens. And I can aim towards each week's class, but unless I am enjoying the journey, I'm going to miss something. I'm going to miss everything. And so, yeah, that's part of the message. That's the message that I wrote in the blog. Now, this is where I love having several different mediums, because I can take it a step further or go a slightly different direction during these videos. And that's what I'm going to do today. I have a song and I have Bible verses for you. And I wanted to talk a little bit about getting off track and finding your way back. And so the Bible verse, I have my handy dandy Bible here, reading from the New Living Translation as usual. I'm going to be reading Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. And it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek his will in all you do, and he will direct your paths. I'm going to read that one more time. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek his will in all you do, and he will direct your paths. Now, as I read those words, and as I prepared for this message, I was trying to think of something to talk about that has to do with our journey. And I think a lot of times when we are aiming towards one single goal, whatever it may be, whether it's Sunday mornings for church or classes or whatever, when we are aiming for one thing, I think we have a habit of aiming for our own purposes. And at least that's my experience. And sometimes I lose sight of what God is calling me to do. And when I stop leaning on my own understanding of this world, when I stop putting my will first and allow God to take control and guide me, I'm able to enjoy the journey far more. Because when I get off track, I don't know about you, but for me, when I get off track, I start feeling lost. Everything starts coming in from the outside, and it's like I'm drowning outside of water. It's like every sound comes in and closes in on me, and I feel so lost and so confused and so just negative. And when I stop relying on my understanding, when I start turning to God's will and seeking his will for my life and seeking his goals for me, I realize that he is already walking this path with me. I don't have to do it alone. And when I'm seeking his will instead of my own, everything tends to fall in place a lot easier. And I realize that it's not my journey. I mean, it is. It's my story, but God is the one who's writing it for me. And that honestly takes a lot of the pressure off and makes every step of the journey that much better. And so I had a couple of songs that I thought might be great for this. And the one we're going to do today is called I Surrender. But I also highly suggest that you listen to the song Do It Again. I wanted to do it today, but I need to practice it a bit more before I bring it to you guys. But I thought that talking about the journeys and getting off track and making our way back to what God has called us to, I thought that song kind of really cemented my faith in him. And so I encourage you, please go listen to Do It Again. I'll even share it to my Facebook page here in a little bit after this so that you can find it easier. But it's just, I feel like it encapsulates a lot of what I'm talking about today. And then, of course, I Surrender does as well. Because I think when we stop striving, which I talked about last week, when we stop trying to do our own thing, when we surrender our control to God, he's not going to let us fall. Now, sometimes we have to stumble so that we can learn a lesson that he has planned for us, but he's never going to let us fall. And we have to trust him, and that's where surrender comes in. So let's sing the song. If you don't know it, that's okay. I did change the key a little bit to make it a little bit easier for me. And I hope you enjoy it and that you're able to worship God just like I am. Surrender Lord, as you draw me near, desperate for you. I'm desperate for you. I surrender. Drench my soul as mercy and grace unfold. I hunger and thirst. I hunger and thirst. With arms stretched wide, I know you hear my cry. Speak to me now. Speak to me now. I surrender. I surrender. I wanna know you more. I wanna know you more. I surrender. I surrender. I wanna know you more. I wanna know you more. Like a rushing wind, Jesus, breathe within. Lord, have your way. Lord, have your way in me. Like a mighty storm, stir within my soul. Lord, have your way. Lord, have your way in me. Like a rushing wind, Jesus, breathe within. Lord, have your way. Lord, have your way in me. I surrender. I surrender. I wanna know you more. I wanna know you more. I surrender. I surrender. I wanna know you more. I wanna know you more. I say it often, and it's because I believe it's true. The more we know God, the more we become like Him. But also, the more we know Him, the more we understand the path that He's laying before us. When we are in communication with Him, it's easier for us to hear His plans for us. And so, no matter how far you've strayed, no matter what you think you might have done to separate yourself from God and the path He has for you and the plan He has for you, I'm telling you now, He loves you. And no matter how far away you might seem to be from Him, He's still right here. All you have to do is reach out, surrender to Him. He loves you. He wants the best for you. And He wants your journey to be as painless as possible. Doesn't mean you won't get hurt. Doesn't mean things won't fall apart. But what it does mean is that you're trusting someone who knows the story already. You're trusting someone who has your best interest in mind. You're trusting someone who loves every piece of you and wants nothing but the best. Heavenly Father, I thank you for your love. I thank you for the journey that you have me on, but I also thank you for the journey that you have all of my brothers and sisters on. That every single one of us has a place in your plans. That we each have a place with you. And that you have a place in our journey. Lord, I pray that each of us would be able to hear your voice, know your voice and know what you're calling us to. Lord, I pray that we are each able to find you in our own lives. I pray that this next week you would continue to watch over us, that you would lead us and guide us, that our journey would remain true, and that your love would remain strong in our hearts. I thank you, and I praise you, and I pray these things in your blessed and holy name. Amen. Thank you all for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next week for another episode of Let's Talk Tikvah. God bless you guys.